All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Tim Scott was here live in the back lot. Special report. Yep. Special report time. Like, what is special report time? Hey, so if you're like me and you're in the car business, you have been getting inundated with things on EVs, like just information, customers. It's coming our way. It's happening with as we live and breathe at the dealership. This is a topic we cannot, turn our eye to. So, 5 things this week on EVs. I'm going to call it 10 minutes with Tim special report. Boom, EVs. Check this out. Okay, there's a couple of topics I'm going to cover here. This, from charging to brand awareness, Tesla, CarMax, Costco's in here today. And then, at the end of the day, what do we do? That's my hope is cover those topics. You got questions? I'll try and put this up live on the back lot here. I don't know. Sometimes I see it, sometimes I don't. Add it in the comments if you've got it. I'd love to keep the discussion going because I think at the end of the day, this is not, I think of us, we're Lewis and Clark here, right? We're Christopher Columbus crossing the ocean. We're figuring this out as we go. So where do we start? Where are we at? That's, according to recent data, here's where we're at with regards to EVs, okay? Blow this up a little bit for you. In Q1 of 2023, there were 246,000 EVs sold in the United States. That's up 66%. Okay, if you check my previous screen here, that is an increase of 66%. It's now at 7% of all U.S. auto sales in the United States are now coming from EVs or plug-in hybrids. The crazy thing here is, if you can read this, get up close, 160,000 of those units were Teslas alone. Almost 87,000 of them were all the other brands combined. So Tesla clearly is the king of the hill here when it comes to EVs. When you break it out a little bit more, okay, and compare this to last year and maybe even the year before, all right, you'll see here sales were up 66% in 2023 Q1 versus 2022. They're up 162% in Q1 versus 2021. That's a lot of cars. Exact how many? Well, that's the chart below. We're up 97, call it 98,000 units from 2022. We're up 150,000, 152,000. So a ton more of these cars being put over the curb at dealerships across the United States. Okay, who are the top sellers? The Tesla Model Y in Q1 was number one. I don't know, about just under 100,000 according to the data here from Clean Technica. The Model 3, the Chevy Bolt, and the Volkswagen ID. There's about 4 brands right now people are buying new. After that, you can see here, it pretty much falls off. Here's the deal, though. The United States government, bless their soul, bless their heart, have proposed a goal of seeking 50% of new vehicles being sold in 2023 electric, or notice here, EVs or plug-in hybrids. So when I hear this stuff about how we've got to be EV by a certain percentage by a certain year, there's always this caveat, which actually gives me a little bit of hope that this is not just EVs, but they're plug-in hybrids as well here. So, Jason Terry, good to see you on the on the EVs bandwagon. Yeah. Okay. Now, what are the experts doing? What are they saying? So I'm going to take a look at a study from CarMax, and then I don't really know much about Teslas. I'm not in the game like you guys are today, buying and selling and trading these things. So I had to do a little education. CarMax recently put out their spring 2023 electric vehicle consumer report. Who knew there was such a thing? God bless you, CarMax. And what they published kind of follows in line with what we saw in Clean Technica. Percentage of searches on CarMax.com are up considerably this year than they were back in 2021 and 2022. They were kind of flat. 22, they took off and have really skyrocketed here. This over here, I really like. This is their top 10 EVs, and the average price. The number one EV being sold on CarMax.com right now, according to this study, is the Model 3 at $37,000. Now all the way down to number 10 in the survey, the Hyundai IonQ, I think is what I say, IonQ electric, $26,000. You can see a bunch of cars that are the Bolt here at $26,000, the BMW i3 at $22,000. I like seeing these cars that are a little bit more affordable. Some of these Teslas, you're going to see in a second, are out of control what they want for these cars. You need a mortgage. Really good data here on common trade-ins on EVs. So the number one vehicle traded in on an EV at CarMax is an SUV, 40%, 29% sedans and coupes, all the way down to minivan mom is the smallest percentage, only 2%, right? Not a lot of kid karting EVs or plugins out there. The top brands, people flipping out, man, Toyota should be feeling a little bit where I think I've heard this other places, but according to CarMax, 12% of the makes being traded out of into EVs are Toyota owners. 8% BMW, 8% Ford, all the way down to Lexus here, and the other makes up the largest percent. This bit over here, though, on the left, their Model 3 is obviously their most popular, and the most commonly traded in vehicle are the Civic and the Toyota Tacoma. Who knew? They're number two. I'm sorry, the shoppers buying a lease on Nissan Leaf, which is their third. The Prius is the number one vehicle traded in on a Leaf. The Bolt is the biggest trade-in on a Bolt is the cousin unit is the Chevy Volt. And then obviously the Model S or Model Y, those expensive, more expensively priced Teslas, that Model 3 customers are kind of trading up, which is good for Tesla. I mean, that's what you want, right? So I was curious about the Tesla lineup. So if you didn't know already, the S, the 3, the X, and the Y. Elon, what you up to there, naming your models like that? Anyway, the picture here is the lowest price, the entry level price on Tesla.com for the Model S is about $89,000. The Model 3 is at $39,900, call it just under 40. The Model X, holy $97,000 gets you going in the Model X. And the Model Y is starts at $51,000. Okay. Interesting, if you scroll through a couple of add-ons, so just click the button, click the button. You can get enhanced autopilot for $6,000. Could you? Gives you navigation, auto lane change, auto park summon, and smart summon. But the full self-driving capability is a $15,000 ad. So there's like a disclaimer on here. The software options are excluded from the federal tax credit. So don't worry, I'm going to talk about the tax credit here in a second. You get full self-serving driving capabilities. You're a big boy. You want to buy a couple of chargers for the homestead to plug in the garage. They'll run you about $425 or $230 for the mobile. Yeah. Warranty start at 4 years, 50,000 miles for the limited warranty. And the battery and drivetrain unit is 8 years, now $120K. So interesting stuff. I was curious. I didn't know much about the federal tax credit. Customers who deliver on a qualified new Tesla. So you have to fall into a particular income bracket. If you make a lot of money, you ain't getting no federal tax credit, honey. The money ain't for you. Okay. They want average Joe or they want to make these things more affordable. So couples filing married, couples filing jointly. If you make over 300 grand, you're out. 225 by yourself as head of household, you're out. And then $1.50 overall. So I don't know. You hear about all these federal tax. I think there's a lot of loopholes to them. Not everybody qualifies. Not every model pricing. I'll try and do some more research on it. But all right, number 3. What the is up with the Chargers? I posted a picture on the page a couple of weeks ago. This is a charging station I saw at a dealership down in Texas. Here's the deal. It's clear the infrastructure to effectively charge EVs is not in place. That is proven over and over and over again. There's an awesome video I'm going to post after this. I'll put it in the comment section. But from the PBS NewsHour, this guy goes out and he rides 500 miles from just north of north of LA to San Francisco, and he's just an average Joe. He's the science and tech guy for PBS NewsHour, but he asks questions from an engineer of Rivian about why aren't there all the chargers out there. He explores all the different types of chargers, and it's just hilarious trying to watch him go up there, and the chargers are broke, they don't even work. And he talks about the expectation. This is part of the problem. You go to a gas station, you're guaranteed to fill your car. They have gas. You're guaranteed to get a full tank of gas. A couple minutes. If you go to get your car charged, you have no idea what you're going to get. Is that charger going to be a slow charger, a medium charger, or one of those high dollar chargers? And do you have the time to get that's the problem here. The bar's been set by gasoline and charging's not meeting it. And then finally, the experience sucks. You drive all around to find one. Hopefully it works. It takes your credit card. It doesn't. So good video. Check that out. How else can we get charging stations? So we look to retailers. Just so you know, it's published this week. Costco will not be adding charging stations to their warehouses. Right? The warehouse that invented get gas at Costco, nope, done. They said it is not in our future. While it's interesting, places like Walmart and Sam's Club are ramping them up. Duh. You get, read between the lines there. Anyway, there's a company out in California called Rove Charging that will be opening up 6 locations in California, I think in Southern California, that will host 40 ultra fast charging stations. So essentially, there are these 350 kilowatt charging stations. They can get 100 miles for every 5 minutes. So basically, in 15 minutes, you can get up to 300 miles if you do the math correctly on your charge. Super duper cool. Convenience store, car wash, massage parlor, get your hair cut, maybe, who knows? But check it out. It's called Rove Charging, Southern California, coming your way. Where are we headed? Are we at a fork in the road? Because the numbers, while the sales are up, according to Automotive News released today, okay, the charging issues and pricing are really starting to, they think are really starting to turn people off. If you look here, on the chart here, the blue line represents customers that are in the survey they did, very likely to buy or consider buying an EV, where the pink line is the customers are like, I'm out. And you see since January, we're on an uptick in the number of people who are saying I'm out. You'll notice that 26 and 21, there's still likely a lot of undecideds. It appears more undecideds are coming on the I'm not interested or very unlikely. And why is it? The concerns about the lack of public infrastructure to support my normal habits of driving. People are learning, they're hearing these stories. The article goes on to talk about, and the promise of future growth. Hey, this is all coming. That's great. Where is it? Where is all this stuff? I don't know. We'll see. EV consideration data reflects consumer perception. These guys go on to be quoted about a lot of people are still looking at MSRP when it comes to price for EVs. But then when there are these credits, they're actually making them affordable for those that need to have them affordable. The evolving tax credits are confusing. I'm still not fully set. Maybe I'll do a different video just on that. So what should you do, dealers? So how are dealers reacting? I spent the week at a couple of Chrysler stores. These guys, they've got plug-in hybrids at Chrysler. I got 3 pieces of advice for you, dealers. You're my guys, my backlot guys. Here you go. 1, I would do nothing today. I'm not telling you to go out and change your strategy and you got to do all this stuff. Just sit back, relax. But you do need to start taking this in. I think the days of putting your head in the sand and this is going away, it's not going away. Okay. So look to your OEM for direction. They're the ones that are going to be, driving this traffic via the brand, the makes and models that they're selling. I would get in line with them and get on board, or at least understand their strategy. Talk to your rep. Understand the makes and models that are out there. Understand what's being traded in. Maybe dabble a little bit. Right? That's my 3rd piece of advice. I wouldn't be scared. Right? Mikey tried the cereal. You could try the cereal. You might like it. There's clearly money to be made. People are interested. You just need to be educated on what's going on here. So that's my special report on all things EV. I don't know. I hope you guys got something out of it. This is Prince Atlas Live for the Backlot. Special report, all things on EVs. So no, you can always buy more, fellas.